What's up, y'all? Here in my backyard, got my little fire pit going on. I like to do shit like that. What's going on, y'all? Having a productive day. Everything's going all right. I got this message from a guy on Instagram last night, and this guy's been following me for a while. I'm not gonna say his name or anything, but he seems like a real nice guy, and he's a gay gentleman, from what I believe. From what I gathered, he is. And that's cool. And he sent me a message. He says something like, "You're so hot. Please don't punch me. LOL. Whatever. Something like that." And I'm like, well, like, why would I want to punch you, man? What are you talking about? Like, for saying I'm good looking? Like, why would I punch you for that? And then he sent me another message back, and he said, "Well, I heard that I punched out a gay guy for basically saying that." And that's there is some truth to that. But I just want to clear it up, and I thought maybe we have a little story time here. I tell a little story about my life in Cambodia. Well, I did punch a gay guy in the face. I did, and not because he's gay, not because he said I'm good looking. It was an accumulation of things. So let me just give you guys a little bit of background here. So I moved to Cambodia in March 10th, 2015, and on October 11th, 2015, I had my third and final kickboxing match. And in the last round of the fight, as a lot of you already know, but I'm just telling a story here. In the last round of the fight, I broke my right hand. As you guys can see, my right hand is badly broken. I need surgery in order to get it fixed, and it hurts me every day. It hurts. Sometimes it wakes me up at night, and it's only going to get worse. And that's just something that I have to deal with and live with for now at least, and possibly forever. Who knows? And that's fine. I'm not trying to get sympathy here. So the doctor said that, because after the fight, I was taken to the hospital by my past roommates, and the doctor specifically said, "Look, Brayton, no punching with your right hand for 6 months, and then come back and get it checked out." So, being the type of guy I am, I think I know everything, whatever. And I was training after 2 months. And my right hand didn't hurt when I would hit the punching bag or hit the pads or whatever it was, or like I would spar sometimes and I'd punch people lightly with my right hand and it didn't hurt. So I figured, well, I'm good. What the fuck does this dumbass doctor know, right? And so basically my right hand was broken the whole time and I didn't even really know it. And what ended up happening basically is I lived with this guy for well over a year, and his name was Adrian. And I'm not making this video to badmouth anybody. I'm not here to talk shit. I'm just here to simply tell a story. And to give you a little bit of background, this guy Adrian was like essentially the first friend that I made in Cambodia. He was like, in fact, he was a cool guy. He was, and that's why I was his friend. But he's also he's gay, and which is fine. And he was very into me. And from the get-go, since we were hanging out, he made it very clear that he wanted to have sex with me, that he wanted to be my boyfriend, essentially, that he wanted to do this and that, and I wasn't into it. And looking back, it's my fault. It's my fault for being the guy's friend for so long, because in his mind, I was leading him on just by being his friend. And the main reason I was the guy's friend after a while was because he liked to do drugs and party and shit, and then I developed a taste for that as well after a while. I like to do MDMA, I like to do LSD, I like to do the ayahuasca, I like to do ketamine and all these other drugs and party. And that's kind of why I would hang out with him like over the course of a year or so. It's like the only time we would really hang out and like bond and like be close, you could say, is when we were high on drugs, which obviously is no way to have a friendship, right? Like that's no kind of relationship to have with somebody. And I've learned that now. But basically, it got to a point where we didn't even like living with each other because I didn't want to hang out with him. He wanted to hang out with me, but I didn't want to, and it pissed him off. And I also was an entrepreneur. I had my own personal training business. I had a YouTube channel. Well, I still have a YouTube channel, and I was doing pretty well. And he was inspired by me to try to do his own thing as well. Like he wanted to do like tarot card readings and astrology readings, and that's fine. That's fine. But he wasn't picking up business. He wasn't really doing that well with it, and I'm not talking shit, but it's just the facts. It's just how it was. And there was a day It was last July, and we lived in this pretty nice house in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, and on the second level of the house, I had a gym space. And I would regularly train clients in there. I would have private sessions, group sessions, and on this one particular day, I'm at the house, Adrian's at the house, and a lady named Chintu's at the house, which I've spoken about her before. She's an older Khmer lady that used to live with us. And I had 3 clients over. I had three females over to the house, and I was going to give them a little group session. I thought it was going to be fun, and they were excited. So I let them in. Everything's nice, joking around. And then I take them upstairs, and then I say, hey, I'll be right back. Let me just go lock up downstairs, and they're just waiting. And then as I'm going to the downstairs to the front door to lock up the house, Adrian's downstairs, and I'm kind of like trying to avoid him. Like, I don't really want to talk to him. It's a very uncomfortable, awkward situation in the house. I have nothing to say to him, and he makes a smart ass comment. He's like, oh, so every time you walk by me, you're gonna have the serious face and the tight shoulders like this. And he had been doing shit like that, and he had been trying to piss me off and get under my skin. He had been trying to make all of the friends we had seem like I was in love with him, and that I was this cruel, manipulative individual. And basically, we just didn't like each other at all. We just got to a point where I just hated his guts. I didn't want anything to do with the guy. I thought he was a bad person, and I could go on and on all fucking day about why I thought he was a bad person, but that's not what this video is about. It's about punching a gay guy in the face, because this dude on Instagram thought I just punched him in the face because he hit on me or something. It's not what happened at all. So I go back upstairs, and I'm about to start the session, and I just can't focus on the session. I'm like, fuck, why is this guy fucking with me right now? He's gonna fuck with me when I have clients over. He's trying to get in my head and piss me off, and you know what? It worked. It worked. So Adrian, if you're watching, good job, man. It fucking worked. So I went back down in the kitchen, and I was like, man, you're really gonna fuck with me, man? You know, like I started raising my voice, and at that point I was just like, fuck it. I don't care about these 3 women upstairs, whatever. And I just lost my cool, and I shoved him across the kitchen. I shoved him, and he flew into the fridge. He almost knocked the fridge over. He almost knocked Chintu over. And then obviously that pissed him off, so he comes back at my face. He charges at me, and I have my back against the wall, and I throw a right hook into his jaw. And immediately when I connect with his jaw, I break my right hand in the same spot as I did in my kickboxing match. Again, in the same spot, but way fucking worse. So the bump is even bigger now. That's my metacarpal. It's supposed to be flat like this. It's supposed to be flat like this, but it's not. It's popping out of my hand, and it's pretty uncomfortable. It's pretty painful every day. So, and then I fractured his jaw or whatever, but that's not even the point. I broke my fucking hand on his face. And then so then I go to the hospital. They tell me basically there's nothing they can do to help me. They don't even suggest surgery or anything. And then that night I start doing opiates, and I develop a serious opiate addiction for the next 9 months. And then I end up moving back here and blah, 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 blah. So I just want to make a little video talking about why I badly broke my hand. It's not because I like to punch people in the face. It's not because there's a gay guy who said I'm handsome and it pissed me off. Like, I don't care if you're gay and you think I'm handsome. To me, that's a fucking compliment, man. I appreciate it. But it was to the point where I felt demeaned, I felt emasculated, I felt completely disrespected, and to be honest, I felt unsafe in my own home. This guy was the type of guy who would try to get me to imagine having sex with him while doing psychedelic drugs, and try to get in my head and convince me that I'm secretly in love with him, and convince our whole circle of friends that I was a bad person for not being with him. In fact, I even have a tattoo on my leg that was very personal to me, and he insisted that he get the same matching tattoo on his leg, on his right leg. And then whenever we're out in public, people see that and they think we're boyfriends, and that's exactly what he wanted. So I punched him in his face, and you know what? In hindsight, I'm glad that I broke my hand, because if I didn't, I probably would have kept hitting him, and I would have fucked him up really, really badly. And there were 3 women in the house, and they would have called the cops. And as far as the 3 women go, I basically just go upstairs, and they're just like, they're just like freaking out. They're like, what the fuck just happened? Like, this guy was being so nice, and less than 2 minutes later, he's yelling, cussing, and punching someone in the face. And to them, their perception was, I'm just this crazy guy, you know, who's a kickboxer and likes to punch people in the face, and they just think I'm this violent, crazy motherfucker. And maybe I do have some crazy, violent tendencies sometimes, but it would never be because a gay guy likes me. That I would never hit a guy for that. Never. I would only hit you if I feel unsafe and I feel like I'm in danger around you. And that's kind of how I felt, to be honest. And anyways, so that's what happened. It was a fucked up situation, and you know, yeah, so my hand's busted now. I even have a job where I work outside with my hands, and sometimes it does hurt. And basically the only way I can get my hand fixed is if I get surgery. They'd have to cut this bone with a saw. They'd have to cut it like a little chunk out, and then flatten it, and then like press it down and flatten it, and then screw in a metal plate on it, and then 4 months later take that out, and that's another, and then 2 months of healing for that. So I mean, anyways, I just thought I'd tell a little story as to why I broke my hand the second time, and just to clear that up. I mean, I don't want people thinking that I hit a guy because he's gay and he liked me. Like, I would never do that shit. Anyways, I digress. Hope you guys enjoyed my little story time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm about to do some shit today with my father, so that's pretty sweet. If you guys want to shoot me an email, nojokestriking@gmail.com. Bitches. Instagram at Brayton Like Satan. Facebook.com/NoJokeHoward. Like and share my shit. All my social media contacts will be in the description box below. I appreciate your viewership. I appreciate your loyalty. I appreciate your listenership, everybody. Peace.